Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hope for Just One. Hope for Just One counseling YouTube website, YouTube site. Today, I wanted to talk with you guys about hormone. This is step 4 of the weight loss process. I've taught you all about rational emotional behavioral therapy, cognitive distortions, and expectations. So now today, I'm here to talk to you about the hormones portion of losing the weight. Now, for men and for women both, as we increase our body fat, we decrease our testosterone and we increase our estrogen. And the more body fat, the more adipose fat that we have, the more hormone problems we're going to have. And which means if like, let's say we're a male and we drink and we're 40 years old and we're overweight, we're going to have fewer hormones. We're going to have less testosterone than your regular male who takes care of themselves and who doesn't have a lot of body fat. And for women, this will produce having a higher body fat level produces higher estrogen levels, decreasing any testosterone at all. And for both male and female, there's going to be mental changes in you. You may find yourself being more feminine, like in a negative way, not in a positive way, like crying, more moodiness, more edginess. And that's because of a high estrogen level. Eventually, this starts to poison your system. But when I first started my weight loss journey, I was 333 pounds, so my hormones were out the door. I had no hormones. The doctor told me that I had some of the worst hormones he'd seen in a long time. Like I was, somebody who was postmenopausal and worse than that because I was also drinking alcohol and I was also using Xanax because I was prescribed that by a psychiatrist for my nerve issues I had at the time. So all this stuff affects your hormones. And I was putting on more weight. I was being more moody. I was being more weepy, throwing more temper tantrums, acting out. Um, so when I did decide to lose the weight, now for me, I started a fast, and I fasted on water, and I got quit the alcohol, and I quit the Xanax, and I broke my addiction to sugar. Now that set me up on a good path to have hormone growth. And you can look it up on the internet. They talk about fasting and how it helps with hormone development, hormone growth. But should also always seek your doctor's advice. Go to a doctor, let them tell you what you need to do. But I didn't go to one, and I should have. And I focused on the fasting. I fasted for quite a bit of time. But you can do this without fasting. You'll have to find a way to start doing the intermittent fasting, and you'll have to find a way to lower your body fat level before you can start working out if you're very overweight. Um, I would say that somebody they can't. I can show you the research. The research says they don't know at what point in body fat increase does testosterone drop and purely estrogen starts making. But what we can do is realize we can stop where we're at. We can realize our hormones probably aren't that great if we're 100 pounds overweight. If we are 100 pounds overweight, we're going to need to lose 25 pounds before we really can start moving in, exercising at a gym and moving hard. And the reason why that is so is because you're going to have to get your hormones to working again before you're able to work out. Because all you're going to get is bruises and hurts and falls and tripping. So you can take that time while you're losing the 50 pounds, 25. If you're 300 pounds, you're going to need to lose 50 pounds. If you're 100 pounds overweight, 125 pounds overweight, you're going to need to lose 25 Yeah, you're going to need to lose 25 pounds just to get things kicked off. But this is the easiest part. The first weight loss is the easiest. It's when you're finally in shape or getting near the end is when the fat's hard to lose. So you're going to have to either start an intermittent fasting program where you fast for a few hours in the morning and you eat later in the day. You're going to have to also focus on eating a high vegetable, a high meat diet, natural butters, uh, watch out for bad fats. But in order to get the exercise program kicked off, you're going to have to lose the 25 to 50 pounds to kick up the hormones to get them to where they're actually causing muscle growth. So, how I did it was I looked at my expectations, started focusing on the mental health part while I was doing my intermittent fasting, while I was doing my fasting, while I was practicing eating keto. Keto is the key to getting your hormones up because you got to get rid of the sugar. You got to get rid of the alcohol. You gotta start moving, but you can't go and start lifting weights. You're going to have to focus on cleaning the house, cleaning the yard, um, using your expectations, using your cognitive distortions, using your REBT, hang those cognitive distortions up on the refrigerator. So you have to look at what you're going to eat. You have to sit there and rationalize it. Wake up in the morning, practice rationalization, practice what you look at what your expectations are today of eating. The number one thing is to get the body fat down enough so that you can start going to the gym and you can start getting muscle growth to take the place of the saggy skin you're going to have from weight loss. Now, that's one of the things that I didn't have so much of a problem with was because as as I lost weight, I was putting on muscle because I was doing German volume training. And German volume training is very good for the hormones. And we're going to get into that in a minute. But before we get into that, we have to talk about hormone management and how you use those hormones. You don't want to go to the gym with hardly any hormones at all. So focus on the weight loss part. And then we have to look at how hormones interact with our muscle growth. So if we're not producing enough hormones because we're too heavy, so we're not going to produce muscle. So now when we go into the gym to lift for the first time, we're going to only work out the muscle group we're going to work out for the day. Because what we're focusing on is sending what hormones we do have to the muscle we're trying to grow today. So let's say I do something like jump on the treadmill and I'm going to run a little bit first or walk fast. Well, now I've done sent all my hormones to my legs. I need to do it where I work out. If I'm going to work out my chest, I got to work out my chest first. And I got to cause all the stress to come to that area first because that's going to be the body's going to say, oh, he's pushing weights on his chest. We got to send all the stress there. We got to send all the hormones there. We got to send all the healing hormones there. We got and that's how that's going to work. Then you can go and get on the treadmill and you can walk and you can run and do what you want to. But I can guarantee you that if you use German volume training correctly, when you first start working out, you're not going to have the energy to hop on the treadmill afterwards. But that's okay. You're going to get the cardio you need by doing the chest press, by doing your bicep curls, by doing your tricep curls because it's going to be high intensity. And here's another subject I don't think I covered very well in this video so far, and that's sugar. Sugar will Sugar will get in the way of your hormones because what it does is that so what happens is that when you eat sugar, sugar goes into the system and is broken down by the pancreas and turned into insulin. This creates proper hormonal management. Insulin is a good hormone, but here's the problem. When we eat too much sugar, when we abuse it and we start taking like our pancreas will become overloaded eventually over time. And what does an overloaded pancreas do? It doesn't metabolize sugar. It sends the sugar straight to the kidneys. Now, what happens with this sugar in this kidneys is that it builds up as plaque on the walls because it's not insulin, it's sugar. So over time, your kidneys are too clogged up. And now you're not filtering urine out of your kidneys like you should. This urine builds up in the blood. And over time, it builds up in the sac around the heart. This causes heart disease because the heart's being poisoned by urine. And then this turns in, eventually, it's going to be congestive heart failure. So sugar also plays a role and fatty liver, cirrhosis of the liver. And we can get into those details and a deeper dive into the pancreas in the next video. But sugar bad. Sugar puts plaque on the brain. So that's another thing a fast is good for, intermittent fasting or sticking straight to a high vegetable, high meat diet is that it helps us break that addiction to sugar, get rid of all sugars. If you don't want to drink diet sodas because you think they're bad for you, then just drink water. If you don't like just drinking water, you don't want to drink diet sodas, then just drink tea with no sweetener in it. Or you can put a little sweet low in there or something like that. But break that addiction to sugar. So it would do you good to go and do the research on at what level of fat and all the other good details that cause hormones to not work in the body correctly. And like I said, they said there's no real measurement for how what percentage of body fat it starts, but they know that once you get too overweight, your body stops producing testosterone, it starts producing estrogen by the ton. This causes problems with pregnancies, this causes problems with men being able to have a, a proper erection. This this will kill you over time. So let's break that habit of sugar and leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about this video. Have a great day. Goodbye.